Oh, hello there. Yes, well, it is Friday, and I'm glad it's Friday because the rest of the week has been, to be quite honest, not up to my exacting standards. So this Friday had better be it, otherwise there's going to be trouble. Yes. Anyway, today, thank God it is Friday. God, it's been a long one. Today, I thought we'd catch up with your friend James S's and see what he's been up to. Well, he's been tweeting a lot, obviously, Natch. And yesterday, this caught my eye, the National Education Union at NE Union. Yeah, you see, he's put that up, so the NE Union know that he's got an eye on them. Yeah, so they better watch it, being all union-y. You know what they're like, left wing. You know what left wingers are like, they're all bad. Yes, that's James for you. Are hiring an equalities lead, badness in itself, and have stipulated, oh, that's bad, isn't it? It's like laws and authoritarianism, in the advertisement, that candidates must be black, capital B, you notice. Yes, even though it's not actually a proper noun, but never mind that now. This is the kind of world we're living in. Yes, people have jobs where things are done. Yes, where someone's skin colour is being used to determine their suitability for a job. Yes, you see, James now, of course, having, had a past, we'll come back to his past inevitably, but anyway, now, of course, he's working with his bestie, Matt Goodwin, who's very, very concerned about certain people who are migrants. Not the colour of their skin, you understand, just the fact that there are certain people that are very, very concerning who are migrants. They may or may not be black, we're never really quite sure, but obviously. Anyway, that's the other thing that he's interested in, isn't it? But, I did look up the job inevitably, and yes, it is a stipulation, because oddly, there are certain jobs where you're allowed to stipulate those things, whereby you're allowed to stipulate that somebody must be a man, or a woman, or black. Right? You're allowed to do it. So we have a union, democratic body, that have decided, democratically, to do something that's entirely within the equalities law, in a kind of equalities, democratic, good thing way that James doesn't really understand, or at least pretends not to understand, because it doesn't pay enough to actually understand, does it? No, because his new job used to be being anti-trans people and pretending to care about children, but the whole thing about caring about children was that, of course, James couldn't quite actually get qualified in that particular area and seemed to have a few problems, which obviously I'm not going to linger on his few problems that he had working in children, because it would be unfair of me to linger on that as a notion that he's not really qualified and has had problems working with children, in and around safeguarding, things like that. That would be wrong of me to point out, so I'm not going to, okay? Anyway, yes, that one, okay, have decided to have this job, which, of course, for James, with his new bestie and his new job, which is, well, basically keeping an eye on people like the NE Union gets that they are lefties, etc. Yeah, that's his new job. Don't really like the idea that black people can have a job all by themselves, because it's wrong when certain characteristics are highlighted against others, which of course got my little brain thinking, because my little brain often thinks these things, and I was thinking, well, James doesn't seem to have a problem with certain jobs being for certain people with certain characteristics, like, for example, if it's some job, for example, where women are demanding a women-only space, then James is more than happy for that to happen. And you have to say to yourself, oh, that's a bit man-hating, isn't it, James? And the answer is, of course, no, because it's all about trans, isn't it? And we're allowed to dislike trans because they don't really exist, okay? And how can you, after all, discriminate against a bunch of people that don't really exist? Hard to say, really, but James seems to manage it somehow. Yes, you see, one of the things that I find strange is a lot of people might well criticise me for my views. They're fully entitled to, but at least have a reasonably coherent worldview. These people don't, do they? No. In a similar vein, I did have to smile at this, okay? He, in terms of his sort of Mary Whitehouse-esque policing the internet, we had this from a few days ago. A group of Conservative councillors have chosen virtue signalling over biological reality in child safeguarding by flying this flag next to the national flag. Yes, next to the national flag. Yes, it's a safeguarding issue, right? Okay, because if you have children, imagine, children are looking up at the national flag. Thank God, I'm really pleased that the king is here, right? And then the other flag, they might well get a slight crick in their neck or something. Yes, but think about it, right? Conservative councillors who are reacting in a democratic way, because they're Conservative councillors, been voted for, James, in the way that, the union people have as well, been voted for, and, are actually representing their constituents. Well, of course, James doesn't like that, because even though it's democratic and they're allowed to do it, and they're supposed to represent the people, across the board in their constituents, James knows that certain people have shouldn't have representation because he knows better. Better watch your back, Conservatives. Otherwise, we might have at Conservatives coming up in a day or two. That'll teach them, eh, James? Gotta smile at these people. Sanctimonious people that they are. Safeguarding children because of a flag. Yes. Yes, he'll be searching the internet for books next. Oh yeah, he does that already, doesn't he? Yes, but this is a sort of wider trend at the moment. You may notice this certain sort of post-election fallout. The fact that lots of people who have no democratic mandate for anything anymore are cropping up on our screens. I had to laugh at this one. That is Janil, who was I think he was the MP for North East Hampshire, was on GB News. Yeah, representing who exactly? Him? His mum? His dog? We don't know. What we've seen is far too much focus on work and diversity and not enough on women and biology, he said. Yes, but the people didn't vote for that, Janil. They didn't vote for that. If anything, one might say that there's a mandate for them not wanting you to be sitting pontificating about wokeness, diversity, women and ideology. You lost, mate. Huge majority you had. Lib Dems stole it from you. Yeah? I wonder if any of those voters were women or trans people. And the answer is probably, but we pretend they don't exist because in this grifterdom atmosphere that we have, yeah? We pretend that some people have a democratic mandate, or indeed that some people, in James's case, are qualified in ways that they patently aren't. Meanwhile, some of us who actually are qualified and do actually do the work and, you know, take part in democratic organisations are vilified as somehow being on the wrong side of history. I think history might well prove something else. Anyway, do have a lovely Friday if you can do. I'm so pleased I made this video now. I'm smiling because I always have to smile when I think about James because I think about his life, okay, and the way that now he has, presumably, to go to bed at night and think what a great job he's done by pretending to people that democratic mandates are wrong, or indeed that positive action and progress in society is a negative thing. Sleep well, James. Do have a good weekend. And the rest of you, of course.